Alright everybody, hello and welcome to episode 5 of the HeartGold Randomizer Nuzlocke. I've not changed anything since the end of the last episode. We're still basically exactly where we were near the TM counter, and all that's really happened since the last episode, I went downstairs, had some noodles, and now I'm ready to go. I've got a bit of food in me, I'm excited to continue the lock. And I'm pretty pleased. You know, I am very self-conscious about things like this. A lot of the time, you know, do things look right? Does the entire video just look and sound like absolute garbage? I showed it to a friend of mine just in between the episodes who's, well... apologies, my cough is still a bit of a pain. Anyway, I showed it to a friend of mine. And, to be honest, this is probably a bit unfair to him, but I assumed he was going to absolutely rip it to shreds. But he, you know, he likes the layout, he didn't mock it, so suddenly I'm happy with it as well. Is it bad that my own ability to enjoy the things I've created is tied into what other people think of them? Maybe. But that's a problem for another day. Now, it did occur to me, because I randomised all the marts in there, I actually can't buy Pokeballs here. Which could be a bit of an issue. So we're going to have to make do with what we have for a little while. TM for Sweet Kiss. Now, unless I'm wrong, that's a confusion move, I think. I don't think it's a sleep move. Yeah, it's a confusion move. Well, 75 accuracy, so it's not as good as Confuse Ray, and no one can learn it anyway, so there's no point in me having it. Well, we got an encounter here. Now, I found a shiny Mr. Mime here before in a Love Unlock. But this time we didn't get a shiny, but we got a Chikorita. Now, time for me to rag on Chikorita for a few seconds. I do not like Johto starters. I have never liked them. In my entire life, they have always been, in my mind, the worst starters that Pokemon ever made. I love the Kanto starters, I think most people do. Even Bulbasaur I love, and I know people rag on Bulbasaur, but I love me some Bulbasaur. You know, I like the Hoenn starters. All three of the Hoenn starters are brilliant. I would never talk shit about any of them. I like the Sinnoh starters. I'm not the hugest fan of Empoleon, but I like it. Water Steel is a creative typing. You know, it's a nice little interesting thing. Unova. The only problem with Unova is Emboar. I don't like Emboar. But for the most part, they're okay. When it comes to Johto starters, though, I hate them. I really, really hate them. You know, now that I think about it, actually, the only starters that I would put on the same level of awful as the Johto starters are the Kalos starters. Because I hate most of those too. I've never actually used the Grass type in Kalos because I despise it so much that I've never ever taken it. I'm going to try and switch into something that can weaken this down as well, but I really don't know what I have. You know what, Snowy still has Tackle, I bet that won't kill it. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the Kalos starters at all. I like Froakie, which is one of the few water types where I can actually say it's my favourite starter from the generation. But I like Froakie. I'm not the world's biggest fan of the Fennekin line. I don't think it's terrible, I just, you know... I don't really like Delphox. I feel like it could be cooler. No, you... It critted it. It critted it. Of course it did. Well, we're not going to get a Chikorita. But to be honest, it's Chikorita. It's not exactly like you know, I've just been ripping on these Johto starters for a few minutes. It's not the end of the world to me that we're not going to get a Chikorita. It's a shame. It's a shame, but it is what it is. Sorry, I'm just reading some Discord messages as well that are being sent to me, and that conversation is... It's funny. The conversation itself is absolutely hilarious, but I'm pretty sure YouTube would probably yeet this video hard if I talked about the conversation here, because it's really funny, but it's not what you would call a safe for work conversation. Oh no! Oh no! No! Okay, I am tabbing out of that now. That is just... Oh dear, that's... It's funny, but I'm going to start laughing for the rest of the video, and you're never going to know why, so it's just going to be weird. Policemen don't fight you at this time of day, so let's not worry about him. Yeah, I'm going to go back and do all of these trainers now. Obviously, I skipped them in the last video because I wanted to check what I could get in the mart. I am a little bit disappointed that we couldn't get any Master Balls or... Ooh, Hoa, okay, hello. I am a bit disappointed that we couldn't get any Master Balls or any Lucky Eggs from the mart. But the TMs turned out to be decent, and there's a good amount of evolution items in there if I need one. So it could definitely be a lot worse. I'm still very curious about what that grass move is. We know one of them was Seed Flare, obviously, but there's another one that talks about hitting the target with like the full force of the body or something. And I thought because it gives you recoil, my first bet was Wood Hammer. But that doesn't make sense. You know, Wood Hammer doesn't hit with the Pokemon's body, it hits with a Wood Hammer. It's messing with my brain, but you know, it's got to be something good. And if it is Wood Hammer, the description's a bit weird, but if it is Wood Hammer, that's a really, really powerful physical grass move. I would not mind having Wood Hammer. Oh, hello, Broken Sprites. You look wonderful. Christ. It always weirds me out, you know. People have been able to fix the anti-piracy stuff in ROMs. People have been able to fix that for every other Pokemon game. Every single other one. Well, every one that's ever been emulated anyway. Obviously, to my knowledge, there's never been a Switch emulator yet, but I imagine eventually someone will develop one. But yeah, to my knowledge, they've been able to fix the anti-piracy stuff in every other Pokemon game that's ever been emulated. But for some reason, HeartGold Soul Silver just says no. It just says no to anything you try and do with it. You get black screens, you get messed up sprites. It is playable. All you have to do is, you know, for a black screen, you save and restart the game. But for messed up sprites, you just, I don't know, tab into your Pokemon or something and then tab back into the game. Like, it's really easy to fix, but, oh man, it gets on your nerves after a while. And that being said, I have seen some pretty incredible bugs in HGSS in my time. I have seen some pretty funny things. One of my personal favourites, actually, I'm pretty sure this has Levitate, so no mud shot's going to have to be Water Gun. But one of my favourites I ever saw was in a really, really old series. The channel might not even be around anymore. The people behind it well, they were in a relationship. They broke up and the channel kind of died. But maybe the channel is still around, if I could remember what it was called. Anyway, the thing I distinctly remember is that one of them went into the national park, I think it was, and their entire game screen just went black and all they could see was their sprite. And that's a really bloody weird one for me. At least I think that's what happened to them, because you get black screens a lot in this game, but I've never seen the sprite stay on screen during a black screen. Hello, Broken Sprites again. Christ, while I'm talking about the bugs, I'm getting the bugs, of course. I think there's one more trainer here after this, so it won't take us long. Oh man, I'm really enjoying HeartGold Soul Silver so far, you know. The more I play it, the more I remember why this is my favourite game to Random Nuzlocke. It's just such a good experience. Granted, all these Pokemon are pretty low leveled right now, and should probably be a little bit higher given that I'm, you know, over twice their level. But it is what it is. Oh cool, she has a Combuskin. You know, Combuskin, I really like Combuskin. I love the Blaziken line, obviously. I love all the Hoenn starters. Sceptile is probably my favourite, but I like Blaziken a lot. The problem I have with Blaziken is that its shiny form, it just reverses the two colours. So like the dark red is on a different part, and the sort of weirdish orangey cream colour is on another part. At least that's what I remember, right? And it makes the hair, instead of the Blaziken's hair being like grey, it's pure white. I think that's how it ends up. But the problem I've always had is that I don't like Blaziken's shiny sprite. I'm not particularly fond of Sceptile's shiny sprite either. I love the one for what's it called, for Swampert, but the other two have pretty mediocre shiny sprites. And oh god, I hope I don't get Palkia for my legendary. I do not want to have to deal with the sun every time I send out a water type legendary. Oh god, that would suck. You know, once when I played Black and White, I might still have the ROM actually, because I don't think I ever finished playing that game. But I should definitely go back and finish that lock at some point. because I have a Palkia there with Technician. I have a Palkia with Technician. Do you know how amazing that is? Right? I'll explain. Palkia with Technician, right? Water Pulse has 60 power. Technician gives an extra 30 to any move of 60 power. And I think like it adds half of the power onto a move that has 60 or lower power, basically. So Water Pulse on Palkia with Technician has 90 power, almost as much as Surf, plus the chance to confuse. Ancient Power on Palkia with Technician has 90 power, plus the chance to give you all of those stat boosts. It's so, so good. That Palkia is incredible. And you know what? I have some really good stuff in that lock, actually. I'm probably going to go and play it. I'm going to go and play it after this video, I think, and actually continue progressing through it. But I have a Suicune there as well. I have a Rotom. I like Rotom, you know. I know a lot of people don't like Rotom all that much. I'm not particularly fond of how the bike and the phone in the later games, basically every piece of technology your player has, is all bloody Rotom. I mean, the Dex is Rotom as well. I'm not a fan of it. I was going to hiccup there, /yawn, and instead it just messed up the way I was speaking. That was really weird. But I'm not a fan of Rotom being in all of these appliances, but it makes sense, you know, given what Rotom is. I understand why it's there. I just feel like at some point they're going to overdo it and people are going to sour on it. But Rotom as a Pokemon is pretty cool to me. I love changing its form. That's so neat. When you manage to get a Rotom in one of the games where you can actually change its form. Why did I use Headbutt? I should have gone for Mudshot. But like, for example, in Black and White, I think you change its form at the shopping mall outside of Icarus City. Or is it outside of Opelousas? It's outside of one of the two. And you change its form by going into like a back room there, and some guy will say, oh hey, I have a bunch of appliances here, but I'm not going to do anything with them. And you can just like put Rotom into them and it changes its form. It's so cool. It's such an interesting idea. Anyway, you have a bunch of electric types, so you died incredibly quickly to Mudshot. Which, I really don't like the Mudshot animation in this game because I have a horrible mind and I'm really, really immature. So it just looks like I'm throwing shit, like a stream of liquid shit at him in my mind. Which is not really a very nice mental image. And I apologise if I've just given you all the mental image. But it's not what I would call nice to think about. Right, hopefully we're now going to be on enough money that I can get that grass TM, because I want to know what it is. It's really getting on my nerves. Oh yeah, we've definitely got enough. Blessed be the amulet coin. Not blessed be my cough, which is annoying me. Right, so there are a few more things to do in Goldenrod, obviously. I want to get the grass TM for the first thing. But then we've got to do the trainer battles underneath the city in the underground area. I want to get those done. More experience can only ever be a good thing. And then we've got to get the bike, do the radio tower, fight Whitney. There's a lot of stuff to do. But I have a few things I want to do before I do the gym, so we're going to leave that off for the time being. Okie dokie. I wanted to come in here to buy this TM. Yeah, here you go. Slams its rugged body into the foe to attack. I don't know what this is. I mean, it definitely sounds like a physical attack. That much I know, but I have no idea what move this is. It is Woodhammer! Well, that doesn't... You didn't slam the body into... you know what? Whatever. You know what? Whatever. I'm pretty sure Woodhammer does some really heavy recoil damage, but it's such a powerful move, I can't resist. I'm going to be careful about when I use it because it's 120 power, and where it says serious damage, I'm pretty sure that's like the most recoil you can get from using a move. So I'm going to be really careful about where I use that, and I'm not going to give it to Flare because Flare already has Seed Flare. Huh, how appropriate. I didn't actually think about that before I gave it to it, but I guess it's double Flare at the moment. Haha, what an amazing joke. That wasn't very funny, I know, I'm very sorry. Did I get... No, I did get my encounter in the route below, didn't I? It was Chikorita. To be honest, I do want to go and get my token encounter, because I got that fossil sitting in my party, and it could be my token. But I want to see what's in the routes that I'm... Why did I go down the stairs instead of the elevator? Christ, it's such a waste of time. But I want to go and see what's in the routes before I actually use that token. I don't want to use the token on a route that has like a bunch of crappy stuff in it. I want it to at least have something good. If I was really in a good mood... Wait a second, I actually only just thought of this. I should take it back to Dark Cave. I should... What? That's what I should do. Because Dark Cave, the 3 encounters that I got in Dark Cave before, I've had Marowak, which I've caught. I had Charmander, which I've caught. The only other thing I ever encountered in there was Metang. So if after this episode, if I go back to Dark Cave and get an encounter there with the token, I have a really good chance of getting Metang. Not a perfect chance, because there might be some other mons there as well. But I've got a good chance. And if I, oh wait, this person gives you a Pokemon, doesn't he? I should go back to the Poké Center actually and get a free spot to see what that is. But yeah, if I go back to Dark Cave, I think there's good odds that I can get a Metang, and Metang would be incredible. So that's probably what I'm going to use the token on. Is it a bit cheap that I'm using the token in the same area that I used my previous token? Yeah, maybe. Maybe that is a bit cheap. But it's not against the rules to do. The only thing that's against the rules to do is for me to encounter something and then say that's what my token is being used on. It's not against the rules to use 2 tokens in the same place. Okie dokie, what the hell do I want now? Oh yeah, I'm freeing up a space for my party, I remember now. We can just take out my Marowak. I don't particularly need it right now. We actually have a few spare mons. I didn't realise quite how many we actually had in there. But at least that's refreshing to know that, you know, if we lose the lock, I actually have some things I can continue with. That is how I do it, by the way. I know some people prefer to have it so if you white out, that's the end of your lock anyway. But for me, I prefer it in the way that if I white out, everything in my team is dead. I have to continue with whatever I have in my box. And so I prefer doing it. Otherwise, I feel like it's kind of pointless to catch extra things after you've already caught the things on your team. Anyway, let's see what this is. It counts as a trade mon, actually, so you get boosted experience on it. It's a Croconaw! I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the Johto starters, I've said that before, but I can't deny that they're powerful. And that's a boosted experience gain Croconaw. I'm not going to use it immediately, because we're going to keep with Whiskers for the time being. But if Whiskers dies, that Croconaw could be really, really powerful. I'm going to do all these trainer battles as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do these trainer battles, then I'm going to do my encounter in this route. Pick up, I think there's a TM and an item in this route, we'll grab those. Then I'm going to go into the national park and we'll sort things out there. Should we try and use Seed Flare? I do love Seed Flare's animation, although, you know, a Charmeleon is decidedly a little bit less suited to Seed Flare than a Shaman is. I want level 19. Poet Kim. You know, I suppose you could be a poet. I mean, it's more suitable than some of the randomized names for trainers in this game. I mean, come on, Team Rocket guys, Team Rocket grunts are randomized to ace trainers, which is a bit odd. Oh, I was just talking about Rotom. That's so cool. Yeah, I randomized it so that it allows alternate forms to spawn as well. So this person doesn't just have a Rotom, you have a Rotom Grass. And I actually forgot that it doesn't gain the grass typing. It's still it's still Electric Ghost. It just gains a grass move. But that's so cool. Look at it. That's awesome. You know what? I actually ended up going back into that Discord conversation, and what's it called? It's still just getting worse. I went back into that conversation to have a look at what's going on, and it's only gotten worse from the last time I was there. Oh, god damn it. Oh, crap. You know what? That's okay. That's okay. I was a bit concerned about it, but it occurs to me now that, you know, realistically speaking, I'm going to kill it in 2 Dragon Rage anyway, so it's not that big a deal. And Golduck doesn't really get any good water moves. In fact, I'm not even sure if it gets any water moves. You know, I'm curious though, because there are PP Max somewhere in the department store. I forget exactly which clerk sells them, but there are PP Max in there. They're very expensive, but with the amulet coin, I can probably afford to get a couple. And then if I use them on Stone Edge and Seed Flare, each will have 8 PP. And that could be really, really good to have. Granted, they're both a bit trashy on the accuracy front, but it could be very powerful to have that combination. Yep, Charmeleon's going to mess you up with Dragon Rage. You know, we're still at a point in the game where Dragon Rage is really, really powerful, so I'm having a good time using it. I don't care if it's cheap. Oh, I will say though, I think most people will know, but most people when they do Nuzlocke, they have the Dragon Rage clause. Now, what I've always done with that is, once I have a Pokemon that can take 2 Dragon Rage, okay, doesn't matter which one it is, once I have a Pokemon with 80 health, which at the moment I don't, but once I do, then Dragon Rage clause is no longer active. Until I do, just because Dragon Rage is so ridiculously bullshit. Like for example, I could take 2 Dragon Rage to any of my Pokemon right now, they're dead. That's it, just 2 Dragon Rage, they are dead. So because Dragon Rage is so bullshit in that manner, until I have a Mon with 81 health, that's all I need by the way, it doesn't have to be any more than that, just 81, that's when Dragon Rage clause is no longer active. I felt like I should mention that now, because usually what I would do, or at least what I would want to do, is I would bring up all of the rules and the clauses that I'm using at the start of the series, which I kind of forgot to do, so I'm just mentioning them as I remember that I'm actually using them, to be honest. Persian is down. You know, I have a rich text document on my desktop that I'm looking at now, like out of the corner of my eye, and I have no idea what that is. I've given it a name, so it must be something, but I have no idea what that name means. That's going to bother me for ages until I can actually check that out. I'm honestly not too fussed about Betsy. Should I? I should use Betsy, but I don't think I'm going to. The thing is, I said it before when I actually got Miltank. Miltank is really useful early on because it's got a pretty decent attack stat. Its normal type moves are pretty good. You know, early on, Miltank is really, really nice, but it does become pretty useless the farther you go through the game. And to be honest, I kind of want the experience to go to things that are actually going to be more useful in the long term. So I think we're going to stick to leveling up what I've got here. Now, 2 more trainers, actually 3 more trainers, there's a bug catcher at the top, and then I can do my encounter here. I don't think I'm actually going to have time to do the National Park encounter as well. Maybe I will. Depends on how long it takes. Oh yeah, that trace has actually just reminded me there. Yeah, Flare has Sturdy, which is pretty nice now. Obviously, it's not going to have Sturdy when it becomes a Charizard, but I'm hoping it has something good. If it has a terrible ability when it becomes a Charizard, I'm going to be really angry. You have no idea how pissed off I'm going to be. Oh, Horsey has Slow Start. That sucks so much. I'm pretty sure Walrein has that as well. And yeah, Seed Flare is probably quite a harsh overkill for a Horsey. But hey, I have Seed Flare. It's super effective. Why not use it? Gonna have to use it on this Dugong as well. Actually, no, I'm not. It's only level 6. What the hell? I can kill it with Ember. See, this is so weird. Sometimes trainers in HeartGold just have messed up levels for absolutely no reason. Like, this trainer so far has had a level 2 to start off with, then a level 14, which is, okay, it's not good, but it's better, then a level 6, and now it has a Latias. I love Latias. It's my second favourite legendary. But I'm going to kill it in one Ice Punch because it's only level 10. God, this game is too easy sometimes. You know, I'm saying that now, but I know, okay, I know that now that I'm just being like, oh, the game is too easy, ha ha ha, I'm having a great time. No, I'm going to fuck up, and I'm going to fuck up soon. Okay, it might even be Whitney that messes me up, but something is going to bring me back down to earth, I'm going to lose a Mon, and it's going to really piss me off. But it will happen eventually, because I'm having too easy of a time, and I'm not allowed that. You know, if there's one thing I've learned from all the Nuzlockes that I've done, and I've done too many, if there's one thing I've learned, it's that whenever I'm having a good, easy time and things are going really well, that is not allowed to continue for long. Okay, soon enough, there's going to be something, I don't know what it will be, but there will be something that is going to come along, shred my team to pieces, and ruin my life. It will happen. It always happens. But right now, Flare is absolutely shredding everything. I mean, look at that. Tasty one-shot. And I'm going to make tons of money with the amulet coin. Honestly, we are blessed finding that amulet coin there. Yeah, I don't want to give anyone my phone number, mate. Trust me, it's not just you. Right, encounter time. I don't want it. I don't want it. I really, really don't want it. You know why I don't want it? Spheal, fully evolved, Wall Rain. What do we know about Wall Rain, everybody? Say it with me now. It has slow start. It might not only have slow start, it might have an option for a second ability. We don't know. We have no way of knowing. But it might have slow start, and if it does have slow start, I do not want it. The only reason I'm actually catching this Spheal right now is just so that the next time I run into a Spheal, I don't have to catch it. Because I don't want a slow start Wall Rain. For the record, I mean, it's insane. Slow Start is Regigigas' ability, and the only reason it has it is because Regigigas is so ridiculous. But Wall Rain is not that ridiculous, so the randomizer is clearly messing with me. Right, one more Ice Punch should take it into red health. Christ, I'm still encored? How long does it last? Okay, you're in red health now, so now I don't care if the encore runs out. You never know, this Spheal might have a really nice item it's holding or something that could make it worth catching. We just don't know. Oh, wouldn't it be wonderful if I threw a fastball at a Spheal? Yeah, I bet that would go really, really well. Or we could just do it in one Pokeball. Whatever works. We'll check it out later because I'm not going to go back to the Pokemon Center just to take a look at a Spheal. Okie dokie, I'm going to call this Roly-Poly because I am not creative, and to be honest, I don't really mind too much what it gets called because you are never going on my team. Ever. Christ, you suck. Right, hang on, I need to turn my bike off, there we go. Alright, let's use a Repel. I'm going to fight these two trainers and grab this item I know is here, and then probably call it an episode. Yeah, I'll probably call it an episode there. I always and on whether the episode should be as a standard 30 minutes or 45 minutes. The trouble is, I have so much fun recording them I never want to stop. So right now we're coming up to nearly 30 minutes, and I could happily go for another 30 minutes, but I do not want every single bloody episode to be an hour of power. Partially because when it is, you know, if every episode is an hour of power, none of the hour of powers are special. But also because if every episode is an hour of power, I know from experience those are really annoying to watch in one sitting. So what I tended to do whenever a series would do an hour of power episode, I would watch about half an hour of it in one sitting and I would just finish the rest tomorrow. But I kind of did prefer doing it properly and just sitting in one sitting, even when it was an hour. But, you know, sometimes you just don't have the time. Right, let's get this item. Armor Fossil, that's another encounter. That's another encounter. That's another encounter. I'm pretty sure that is different to the first fossil we got. But it doesn't really matter anyway because, you know, if we get the same fossil twice, it's still another encounter if I don't get it from the same place. And since I didn't buy this one from the mart, well, from the mart where I got my previous fossils anyway, Dizzy Punch. I really want Dizzy Punch. But yeah, since I didn't get this one from the marts where I bought them before, it's a new encounter for me. So I now have 2 encounter tokens. I am absolutely okay with that. We've been really lucky getting fossils so far. And yeah, this trainer's not going to be anywhere near difficult. Not that any trainers on this route really have been. We'll probably have to do the National Park encounter in the next episode, because as it stands right now, we're about 15 seconds away from 30 minutes. Let's see, Nidorino. Absolutely fine, I can take that out too. Although it does speak to how much training I've been doing with Flare here that I'm almost out of PP for 3 of my 4 moves. Well, now I am out of it for 2. Oh, come on, really? You must have like 1 or 2 HP left. What the hell? Yeah, at least it was only double kick. We'll just finish it off with an Ember. I am hoping to get a better fire move soon. I'm going to have to look up Charmeleon's moveset at some point. Yeah, you weren't fast enough at all because now you've been defeated. I'm not going to go back to check on Sphere in this episode. I'll do it in the next one. But I will switch over my amulet coin to something that needs a bit more training at the moment. There we go, we'll put it on Snowy. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of the HeartGold Randomizer Nuzlocke. Granted, it's not as long as they have been so far. 30 minutes is a pretty short episode for me. I'm thinking about keeping them between about 30 and 35 in the future. But yeah, it should be okay either way. I'm really happy with the way the team turned out. Kenya is definitely a nice water-type backup. It's the one I'm leaning towards using if Whiskers dies. Not that we're short on water-type backups, let's be honest, we have tons of them. But I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time.